Whenever you clear a floor, you can go start at whatever floor you feel like. Makes progression a lot less of a hassle than it could be otherwise. Alright, we finished the first floor, so it should be taking off the kid gloves a little bit. Cat! That cat clearly has an owner. It has a bell around its neck. Chase the cat. Pawn, that is going to end up being pretty useful. Okay, let's see. Lots of treasure chests. Sky Hunter, we finally got a weapon add-on. We can put it in here, it'll change our weapon stats. This specific one increases damage to flying monsters, such as that bat that's over there. Yep, already. Since I'm already poisoned, I might as well take care of this bat as well. Ooh. That's a spicy hit. I forgot how much damage they do. Okay, I didn't need to use that bread because these springs that show up randomly in dungeon refills all your health and all your thirst. So it'd be a good idea to keep track of where they are. Yeah, most of the add-ons for specific enemy types aren't super useful outside of ones that affect rock and metal enemies, since they have such high defenses that the extra damage boost to them actually does something. But right now there's no real reason not to use it, so we'll just keep it in there. I will say, even though I say that individual ones aren't useful, you still need to use them if you want to upgrade weapons, since certain weapons have requirements for specific anti-enemy levels. Thank you for contributions, Figaro. Okay. Once you learn the map, it's pretty easy to tell what you're doing. On the minimap, red dots are enemies, green dots are Animalia, and yellow dots are treasures. I should also mention that all the dungeon floors are procedurally generated, so I'm not really going to know what's going to be going on until I actually get there. And it looked like we managed to get all of the stuff Macho was asking for. We won't actually be able to get anything from him yet, since there's still someone else that's living there. But we'll be able to get that sorted out and not have to worry about it. Enemies showing up in groups can be a bit of a problem, but you don't have to worry about it too much. Since it was an early era PS2 game, they didn't really have big groups of enemies without slowing down the game figured out yet. So at most you're going to see maybe 3 enemies in a room, maybe 4, rarely. Alright, Komacho is another villager. Alright. Since we'll get a free one once we get out of here, there's no real reason to risk having it break. Can can also guard against enemy attacks, but some attacks it doesn't work very well. Like that big wind-up attack does a ton of damage, and also you can have status effects pierce through them, such as getting poisoned by bats even if you block them. Alright, there's a key. And our dagger's apps are full. I'm going to take this out of it with an upgrade. Normally when you keep the items in there, it gets absorbed into the weapon and it frees the slots back up. So if I kept it in there, it would still have the +3 to anti-sky. But since the dagger isn't a weapon that can be upgraded, it's a bit of a waste. Alright, we just about clear out this floor. Just need to open up that door that uses the bone key we found earlier. I'm guessing that it's going to have both the map and the magic egg in it. Maybe an Amalia piece. As long as you get the drop on those Yamcha enemies, their usual attack isn't that much of a problem. Bats also like to fly up above your melee swings, so it can avoid them. They're a bit of a hassle for towing. Alright, and there's the map. And there's Magic Crystal. Skeletons like to dodge away as soon as you get near them, and they'll also block with their shields. They tend to be more defensive, but if you can catch them, you can combo them pretty easily. I just need to hit up the exit now. That is not the exit. Alright, just head back to the mayor's house, stop off again. And we're good to go. Let's see, we got Komacho, which also lives in Macho's house. The annex room, which is Macho's room, which he was talking about. And his barbell. See, there he is. Alright, his house is already down here. And we also need to add a fence and a lamp. The stuff you get for the houses aren't all one-to-one. You'll notice that I have a couple lamps here. Those are interchangeable. Alright, when we finish building a house, it has an event associated with it. That is almost always activated by entering the house. Lucha Libre. And we got a Stonebreaker, another weapon customizable item. What weapon do you use? I figure you just punch people. Do you just hold it when you're punching people? I'm shivering in rage. Round 1. Fight. Alright, now we'll just take a quick look around, see if there's any more treasure chests popping up. Can't tell if there's one hidden behind him or it's just the bed frame. Yeah, he even says that he goes hand to hand. Alright, and Macho and Komacho's problems are solved. So we can go in and just go straight to the dungeon and go down to the next floor. Alright, let's keep this train rolling. No, it has to stop at the station. Even Tone looks done. I already explained about lock-on. It's your standard Z targeting. In addition to raw stats and monster weaknesses, there's also elemental weaknesses and such. You can change them anytime you go into the menu. Okay, so... Damn, bats. Always bats. Alright, man, let's really nick him with that one. Oh, God. No, we're not even gonna bother with that. There's nothing in there. No, I need to because of the key. Dashers, like their name, like to run around. They also run away from you, but they don't really have like a guard or a dodge or anything. So you can just smack them when they start running back again. Now we have a couple new enemies over there, but I want to take care of this bat. Because in addition to being annoying to play against, it's also annoying to listen to. Statues, real slow. Also do a ton of damage. But their attack goes straight overhead. So as long as you're moving to the side when it's winding up, it's easy enough to avoid. You gotta be real close because the model for their weapon likes to push you away a little bit. And also, since it's a stone type enemy, it eats through weapon HP like crazy. Over here we have a statue dog, which likes to just be a little box and until you get close to it. It also attacks you by just touching you, doesn't have any real wind up. But that Stonebreaker we got earlier should it made it a little bit easier to fight against. Okay, and since that's the one room up there that we haven't explored, we're gonna backtrack up there real quick, check it out. Looks like it also has a spring in it, so that'll help out with healing. Always poison. You can see why it's important to restock your supplies every single floor. Early game is rough here. Please drop a key. Damn it. That fire gem is not a weapon upgrade item. It is a use item. And apparently it's called an Inferno Gem in the inventory. So we're just going to keep hold of that in case we run into another statue because it's just eating through all my weapon HP. I don't have any more repair powder, and if I don't find any more, which I'm probably not since it looks like there aren't any more treasure chests here, if it ends up breaking, we're going to lose all the progress we made building it up through all the floors we've been through so far. This is very easily avoided later on, but right now we don't have much of a choice. There we go. So I'm just going to try to avoid the rest of the enemies as we pick up the last of the Animalia in here. Like, that statue dog almost will definitely take all my weapon HP in order to kill it. And it'll just stay by itself as long as I don't bother it, so just leave it alone. No point in letting my thirst run out. I just make our way to the exit. Actually go towards the exit this time, not the entrance. Alright, stock back up. I should also point out that having items in your pockets doesn't really take it out of your inventory space. You'll notice that we have a max of 50 items that we can carry on us right now. We'll be able to upgrade that later though. Let's see. Didn't really get any new buildings, so we can't really do with anything with any of that stuff. But we did get this pond. Let's see now. I want it facing the other way. No, move. There we go. And the pond has a fishing minigame associated, but we don't have a fishing pole yet. So we don't have really much choice except for going back into the dungeon again. And we go.